Deep underground, a nightmarish scene from the most terrifying horror film unfolds. A tiny, ruthless predator transforms a huge cockroach into an absolutely helpless puppet. One precise sting to the brain, and the victim forever loses the ability to think about its own salvation. How is such unthinkable sinister sorcery possible in the real world? Today you'll learn about the most chilling and mind-boggling methods of mind control in the animal kingdom. You'll understand why cockroaches developed their own sophisticated self-defense system against manipulator wasps, how a treacherous fungus turns cicadas into reproduction-obsessed puppets, and how modern science has learned to control the human brain with electrical impulses. Mesospora is a psychedelic fungus that ruthlessly transforms cicadas into lustful zombies. Its diabolical mass distribution strategy astounds with absolute cynicism and cruel efficiency. The cunning fungus literally forces the infected male to continuously mimic mating calls, rhythmically waving its wings strictly on command from the invisible parasite. The infected, unfortunate insect instantly becomes a living sexual lure for its fellows. The predator knows perfectly well. Contact between cicadas occurs during mating. Each copulation means new infection. Mesospora grows on the cicada's rear section, and during flight, the victim scatters spores everywhere. Insects caught in the fungal rain become carriers of the parasite. A devilish cycle emerges. Each victim becomes a spreader. Cicadas copulate until death, unaware of their biological slavery. Nature invented the perfect biological weapon of mass destruction. Parasitic wasps are ready to die for the sake of reproduction. They dive underwater for 15 minutes, even though they're not adapted for aquatic life. The goal? Caddisfly larvae at the bottom of water bodies. The insect holds its breath and plunges into the deadly element. Underwater, the wasp frantically searches for suitable hosts for its eggs. It must find a larva, attach its offspring, and surface before suffocating. 15 precious minutes, the critical boundary between mission success and death. Maternal instinct conquers self-preservation, forcing the impossible. The wasp risks its life, diving where it shouldn't exist. Such selflessness astounds scientists. For reproduction's sake, it's ready to violate nature's laws. But the Costa Rican wasp is a true master of deception and control. It captures a spider and forces it to dramatically change its web-weaving method. An ordinary web won't work. A special construction is needed for the offspring's cocoon. To reach its victim, the wasp pretends to be trapped prey. It lies motionless on its back, masterfully portraying helplessness. When the spider approaches for easy prey, the predator delivers paralyzing stings. After infection, the spider lives its ordinary life, suspecting nothing. But before pupation, the larva releases a substance reprogramming the host's brain. The spider weaves a web it never created before. Thick, strong, weather-resistant. After completing construction, the architect dies. A week later, a new wasp is born. More than 130 wasp species worldwide use one diabolical reproduction strategy. They don't kill their victims, but transform them into living incubators for offspring. The emerald wasp chose the cockroach for good reason. These insects are incredibly resilient and hardy, making them ideal carriers for growing larvae. The emerald wasp commits the perfect crime with surgical precision. First, it stings the cockroach's chest, paralyzing the front legs, then delivers the main blow to the brain, to the centers of fear and self-preservation. Murder isn't in its plans at all. It needs a living, breathing nanny for future children. After the fatal sting, the cockroach completely submits to the ruthless captor's will. The most incredible thing happens after the bite. The wasp breaks off the cockroach's antenna and tastes its blood. Scientists believe this is how it checks the venom dosage. Too little, the victim will wake up early. Too much, it will die. Every movement is thought out in detail, every nuance important for success. The wasp leads the incubator to its lair only after confirming the operation's success. Nature created the perfect predator, mastering consciousness control technologies. The cockroach obediently follows the wasp to its dark underground lair like a hypnotized marionette. There, the ruthless predator carefully attaches a larva to the defenseless victim's abdomen and thoroughly seals the entrance. The cockroach becomes a living refrigerator for future offspring. But cockroaches don't surrender without a fight. Over millions of years, they developed 4 defense tactics against manipulator wasps. First, attack as the best defense. The cockroach turns sideways, hides its head, and delivers sharp strikes to the opponent's head. Several precise hits are enough for the wasp's retreat. Second tactic, acrobatic tricks. When the wasp prepares to sting, the cockroach sharply turns around, using stunning agility. Even if the predator grabs the head, the victim has a chance to throw off the attacker. Third, spikes of death. The hind legs are studded with sharp growths, which in the insect world are deadly weapons. Engaging the rear limbs, the cockroach can kill the wasp. And the last tactic, swift escape. But if venom reaches the brain, no martial arts will help. The secret of the diabolical venom lies in special dopamine-like compounds that instantly plunge the cockroach into a state of complete bliss. The unfortunate insect no longer experiences fear of death. This vital instinct is simply switched off chemically. The victim is literally in deep narcotic intoxication, so easily obeys any orders from its new master. But the treacherous venom works even more sophisticatedly. While the cockroach's consciousness helplessly wanders in another dimension, active chemicals methodically slow its metabolism, artificially prolonging the living carrier's life. Consumption of vital oxygen sharply decreases. The heart begins beating significantly slower. Body temperature gradually drops. The cockroach slowly transforms into a living biological preservative for growing larvae. The deadly venom continues acting for a full 10 days, while hungry larvae need only 7 days for complete hatching. They have sufficient time reserved for development, but the unfortunate cockroach has not a single chance for salvation. Nature created a truly perfect system of biological slavery. The frightening truth is that the basic principles of control remain absolutely the same for any brain on the planet. Modern scientists have already learned to purposefully disable specific areas of the human brain using precise electrical impulses. Special high-tech devices can force people to completely lose control over their own hands or even speech against their will. Experiments demonstrate terrifying possibilities. Electrodes are connected to the same limbs of 2 volunteers. The first person moves their hand, sending impulses. The second cannot control their limb. It jerks from foreign commands. Total control doesn't exist yet, but technology develops at frightening speeds. Transcranial magnetic stimulation treats depression by affecting nerve cells. The same technology can control movements against will. The line between treatment and enslavement blurs before our eyes. Biochemical programming, living incubators, mind control. All this has existed for millions of years. Humanity is only beginning to understand the sinister principles that insects master to perfection. Until next time.